Listen to this part of the conversation between Joe Rogan and Paul Stamets and tell me you don't hear something that would be familiar to a biblical Christian worldview.
And having one very bad day define your life for the rest of your life is not right.
No.
Because then if you can't resolve those issues as a soldier, as a law enforcement, as a doctor who makes a mistake, if you can't get through that turmoil, that stress,
Right.
the anger that then can emanate out from your anger at yourself to other people,
Yeah.
then this is what psilocybin and ibogaine and other psychedelics, I think, really do. They help people forgive themselves and become better people. And once you forgive yourself and become a better person, then everyone is excited about the fact that you've changed.
And imagine the world that we could be living in if this experience was available to so many of the people that are committing crimes. So many of these people who have never had any kind of a psychedelic experience have never really confronted their own reality in that way. How many of them would change their ways? I would imagine a great deal.
We talk about using psychedelics and psilocybin and other substances for treating people who have trauma, mental illness, addiction issues. But what about the near normals? All of us are somewhat on the spectrum, and we go back and forth depending on daily, monthly, yearly activities, events, etc. But what about prevention?
Yeah.
If the return on investment is to reduce addiction and crime and all the other collateral damage that's associated with it, it would save hundreds of billions of dollars. Hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Psilocybin should be made free, I think, as a citizen's right to have access, and the government should pay for it. It would massively reduce our national debt. It would make our better society, but that's not going to happen, right? That's a dream.
Well, I don't know if that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen tomorrow.
I mean, I really do hear the need for something transformative. It's really interesting. We've talked about this a little bit before, but if only there was something immediately accessible and free to everyone, some way to forgive ourselves and each other, to prevent crime and allow society and individuals to find health, healing, and regeneration. Of course, this is the biblical promise, right? Maybe it's just a ridiculous dream, as Paul says, or maybe Christians need to demonstrate the gospel to people like Joe Rogan, Paul Stamets, so they don't have to look for transformation to come from mushrooms. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for being here. I'll catch you in the next one.